Hello and welcome to the show. Celebrating 50 years is a remarkable accomplishment for any organization. But for MIC Institute of Technology, 50 years also means 50 years of positively impacting the lives of thousands of people. In this conversation, we're going to take a look at this mammoth institute and its last 5 decades and the future. Joining me is Professor Emeritus Clement Imbert, and he is the chairman of MIC IT. Thank you for joining us, Professor.
Thank you for having me.
So, tell us a little bit about MIC IT in terms of the history of the institution.
Okay, MIC started as MIC Metal Industries Company Limited, and that's the acronym for that is MIC. In 1974, it started by Professor Julian, who was the brainchild of many things in Trinidad and Tobago, as a manufacturing company, but specifically manufacturing tools, dies, and molds, and fabrication also as a. Now, the manufacture of these items requires precision machining, highly trained machinists. There was no institution in Trinidad and Tobago. There was no way you could train these people in Trinidad and Tobago through any institution or from any people else. So for the first 10 years or so, MIC had the good fortune of having a number of UNDP experts who trained our local instructors and local machinists, precision machinists. And thereafter, of course, the locals were able to take over. However, 10 years later, in 1994, there was a major shift in the training of technicians in MIC. Whereas we concentrated on internal training of our machinists, we now were training people for industry specifically. The NSDP program, or the NSDP, the National Skills Development Program. And how that came about is that Ferrostal, a German company that had interest in methanol in Trinidad and Tobago, invited Professor Julian and the Prime Minister at the time, Patrick Manning, to visit Germany to view their TechVoc training system in Germany. They were very impressed and came back and decided to establish a high-level technician training. And that high-level technician training is training first a journeyman, and from the journeyman you go to the master craftsman. The master craftsman is called a Meister in Germany. And the Meister in Germany is at the same level in the qualifications framework as a Bachelor of Engineering in Germany. So from 94 to the present, we have been training people mainly in the journeyman area, and some of them go on to the master craftsman. Now, MIC started at that time, therefore, to transform from mainly a manufacturing organization, and over the years it has transformed into now mainly a TechVoc training institution. So that in 2002, the government asked us to start a program at the much lower level, an introductory program introducing people to the construction trades like plumbing and electrical installation and carpentry and welding and so on. In addition to that, we have a program called the ICP, that's Industrial Craft. So all the craft programs that were John D. San Fernando Tech and GVC, the Government Vocational Center in Point Forte, come under that heading called ICP. So we have HYPE, which is the lower level program. We have ICP, which is a higher level program in different areas, including culinary arts and so on. Then in 2011, a program called MUST that was uh, run through the Ministry of Education itself, MIC was asked to take over that program. In addition to that, we have what is a professional program where we take recent graduates in engineering and train them over 2 years in giving them very hands-on experience for the manufacturing sector. We also have short courses that we do, and the word short means that they could be 40 hours long, 60 hours, that kind of thing, spread over a couple of weeks because they are mainly geared for people who are working, so they're mainly in the evenings, and that has been very successful, our short courses. Um, in addition to which, ministries ask us to do either customized programs or specialized programs in manufacturing, woodworking, for example. A recent one is marine yachting um, program. And very recently, I must say, the Ministry of Youth Development and National Service has asked MIC to project manage a program that is being done at UGT, at the Centennial Agricultural College of UGT, whereby MIC, because of its vast experience in tech work management, has been asked to project manage a program there called the Youth Agricultural Homestead Program. Yeah. So we do these specialized things for ministries from time to time, and we are very proud to do that one in collaboration with UGT.
What are some of the major accomplishments that you can pinpoint from over the 50 years?
I must say we're the first institution to be accredited, the first tech work institute to be accredited by the ACCT, and we have, as I say, accreditation, a certification for both ACTT and the NTA, National Training Agency. The establishment of the NSDP, where we move from in-house training basically to national training.
Okay. Now, TVET, TechVoc, is not highly regarded by a lot of persons within Trinidad and Tobago. It's still, I think people misunderstand what it is about and the importance of TechVoc and the TVET as a program. Why is it important to have an institute such as MICIT in Trinidad and Tobago? What benefit does it have for its citizens?
Well, we're in a technologically driven age, and more and more we need craftsmen and technicians who are educated beyond the, the norm that we normally have, where people really learn from other people, where they can get instructions by trained instructors in an institution, where they can be certified. And more we need to produce these kinds of people because Trinidad, as you know, is the most industrialized of the Caribbean, well, CARICOM countries. So therefore we need to make sure that our craftsmen and technicians are properly trained, both in institution and also hands-on in industry, because our courses are very much hands-on. As a matter of fact, when you take the hands-on that takes place within the institution, and when we have the people as interns in industry, it's over 70% hands-on and 25% or so theory. Now, in terms of recognition, TVET unfortunately has had a stigma, and there are several mechanisms that have to be used to improve the recognition of TVET. First of all, I think just as English and mathematics are compulsory subjects to acquire what is called a full certificate, 5 subjects including those 2, I think they should make a TVET subject compulsory. That would give much more recognition by students, by the parents, etc. Also, I think the question of having bridging programs so that there could be a greater articulation from tech work programs to the more what we call academic programs, which are much more highly regarded, of course. That would also assist in giving greater recognition to TVET. So bridging programs to bridge from tech work to, as I said, the more academic programs, so people get both. And in that regard, we are working with UTT to see how we can bridge our master craftsman to a Bachelor of Technology, rather than a Bachelor of Science, a Bachelor of Technology, by having a bridging program of our master craftsmen who don't need to go and spend the whole 4 years at UTT, but could just spend maybe a year and a half to bridge them, and that would to bridge them to a bachelor's degree, and that would encourage many more people to do TVET, especially like they coming into the journeyman program
Yeah.
and then going to the master craftsman program. They can see that they would get both very hands-on experience and be industry ready, but at the same time, they can proceed to a bachelor's degree in an engineering discipline.
We'll take a quick break now, but stay with us. We have a lot more for you. Thank you for staying with us. To continue the conversation on the excellence that is MICIT is Chief Executive Officer Anil Ramnarayan. And Mr. Ramnarayan, thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much for having this audience with myself.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, where do I start? I've been at MIC, fortunately, for over half of MIC's life. So, I'm really happy that we are here and we can talk about, a celebration that is worth mentioning. 50 years, it's no easy accomplishment. Companies fold for the most part within the first 3 to 5 years. 50 years, wow.
So, tell us a little bit about the services and courses that are offered at MIC.
We can start with the advanced manufacturing workshop. It is one of our most innovative spaces where we do a lot of metal works. That really was the space that MIC was, born operating from. It's the space that we started, training persons from the initial days. The chairman did speak to it in the mold making, tool making, dies making, and pretty much it was really to support the manufacturing sector. So we have a very wide portfolio of plastic products now, moving from then to now, and it includes things like flower pots and saucers, a plethora of ice cream containers, hangers, and the list goes on. It's about 39 in total generic products, in addition to a lot of contract manufacturing. Now, what distinguishes MIC from other training institutions is what I've just articulated. Having a space where you have live manufacturing. Persons who join, as the chairman mentioned earlier, the journeyman program, they have an opportunity to come and work in that environment. So they can actually practice what they have learned in the classroom. As a matter of fact, some of these youths are so fortunate that they get an opportunity to be placed in our advanced manufacturing. And also we have a internal maintenance department that supports both advanced manufacturing and the plastics department. We also do a lot of work from a workforce development perspective. So let's say you are a mason and you don't have a certificate, but you have 10 years experience. We could come to your space, we can assess that worker and he could be afforded a certification once he meets. There's of course going to be, a scoring requirement, so there's units that must be achieved, may it be in terms of understanding of X, Y, or Z. So that will be, once that is achieved, then this person could be certified. As a matter of fact, also too, we have, from time to time, a summer program called STEM, science, technology, education, mathematics. It's generally, you don't want to absorb the students' entire vacation, but it's generally between 3 to 5 weeks. And you would not be surprised when I tell you, having said all that I've said, the amount of students that comes from, let's call it prestige schools. They come because they want to understand a little bit about, what the journeyman program obtains, like, pneumatics, hydraulics, those sort of things, electronics.
Yeah. And I mean, the title may not be as glamorous as, some might want it to be, but the skills that you need in order to become a journeyman or to be a master craftsman, you are incorporating technology and math and, those types of subjects. So, why don't more persons apply to be involved or educated in areas, in tech work areas?
Well, one of the issues that we have right now, as I mentioned, is our limited resources. But the persons, as I said, the persons are limited based on our limitation. So it is not that there are not interests. There's a lot of interest, but of course we are limited. And when we traverse the labs at some stage, you would recognize the type of equipment that these students are trained with.
Yeah.
So it is very expensive to train in these areas, but of course the interest is there. And certainly with, the chairman spoke about expansion, and our intention is in the upcoming years to really look at how, in creative ways, forming strategic partnerships, how we can expand our offerings, not only in Trinidad, regionally, and certainly that is going to assist the youths who are interested.
Hi, my name is Jared Montano. I am a senior instructor in advanced machining. My journey started in 1998 as a journeyman machinist. I spent some time as a C class, then I went to B class, and then I moved to A class machinist. After that, I was promoted to senior instructor of advanced machining, where I operate and program the CNC machines. CNC stands for computer numerical control, where you can write a program or generate a program, and the machine carries out the program that you generate or activates. Right? The axis, just as in maths or graph, where you have X, Y, and Z, right? X being the axis from left to right, Y being the axis in and out, and Z being the axis up and down, right? And you program the machine through codes called G codes and get the machine to produce whatever drawings you want it to produce. The machine can produce gears. You can get helical gears, bevel gears. It can also produce square and rectangular workpieces. And at presently we are doing some shafts. So these shafts were prepared on the conventional machine, where they were machined to a specific diameter, and then the grooves were inserted according to the drawing. Okay. Right? And now what I have to do, I have to cut 3 flats on the shaft and insert 3 grooves on the flats. Right? Each flat is 120 degrees apart, right? And each groove has a different depth and width. This is a finished product here with the 3 flaps. Each flaps are 120 degrees apart. One is 6 millimeter deep and the other 2 are 7 millimeter deep. And across the whole length of the shaft.
So as we have seen, MIC IT has a huge portfolio of plastic products. And certainly if you're interested, you can visit us at our online store where you can make the purchases there using your credit card. Or if you choose, you can visit us at our head office location based at Century Drive, Trin City, where all these products are available for you to purchase. And you can use the method of payment, either it be cash or links or manager's checks. Can't wait to meet with you and see you. Support local.